Good afternoon to those who will listen. It is June 2nd, 2018, 5:49 p.m. And this is a video about the day my phone froze at 3:33. I'm going to explain the series of events that happened and the message that I received and hopefully the meaning of what the message is. So I think it was back on May 17th, 17th or 18th. Let me go back a little bit further. So if it was May 17th, 16th, 15th, the 15th or 14th, I started reading Matthew. One of my subscribers suggested reading the New Testament. So I started reading the New Testament, started with Matthew, of course. And I've finished Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And I'm starting on Acts today, if I have time, maybe tomorrow at the latest. But yeah, I'll probably finish at least a few chapters tonight. Anyway, so okay, so I've read Matthew 1 through 7, and then 7 through 12, and then 13 through 19, and then 20 through 28. And on the day before the 333 message, or the night before, I read Matthew 13 through 19. And then I woke up and my phone was frozen at 333. So I did the video and, trying to come up with a meaning for it. And I looked stuff up and other people looked stuff up. And we thought maybe it was angel numbers, which maybe it could be still. But I think it means something else even deeper than that. So when I was going through Matthew, I put it on my TV where it's being read by somebody. So somebody's speaking out all the chapters and verses, and then I read along with it. I think you get more that way if you're reading it while somebody's talking it out. So on the day that I got the 333 message, I decided I was going to fast that day. And that was the first day I started doing fasting again. And I made it for 18 hours, which is the longest I've done. I've done, 15, 16, 14 hours. But this was an 18-hour day. And I couldn't believe I made it that long. But so I finished reading after I've, went through the fasting. No, I read it while I was fasting. I read the rest of Matthew. And then when I was finished with that, and it was 18 hours, I finally ate something, and I called my mom to talk to my mom. And I told my mom, oh, yeah, I started reading Matthew and was going through all that. And then I told her that there was a few parts where I had to stop it and kept reading it over and over to try to get the meaning of it. And chapter 19 was one of those things that really came out to me. So I was telling my mom about that. And I said, oh, I'm going to go look it up for you. And so I could just read it to her because, it's easier to explain if I just read the verses. So I read, I got my Bible and I turned to Matthew 19 and I was like going through it. And I said, this thing about divorce, it kind of is weird for me. And I was trying to read it over and over to understand it. I was telling her about that. And I don't know how it came about. We were talking about my ex. And then I was like, oh yeah, I remember in Matthew you said something about divorce. So I was, kind of puzzled at that. But then I looked up at my Bible at the top of the page, and boop, it almost like it looked like it was like popping out at me. But if the page that I was on was 1,333, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, okay, that's what I think. Maybe that's what the message is. God's trying to tell me something about divorce. So we'll just read this right here. Okay, starting at verse 3. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder. They say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of the divorcement and to put her away? And he saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And here's the main part. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except for it be fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her for her which is put away, doth commit adultery. And let's see if I need to go on any far. And his disciples say unto him, if the case of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry. But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. Let me scroll up a little. Where were we at? Okay, and then that was the part about divorce. And then there was another part about eunuchs, which was talking about celibacy. Couldn't think of the word there. Verse 12. For there are some eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. And that was it for that. So then I was thinking, well, maybe it had something to do with me being celibate. Like, oh no. So I was like trying to figure out, does that mean I can't get married again? And I can never marry again and I'm stuck being celibate the rest of my life? Or does it mean that I'm allowed to remarry, but not have sex until I get married again? Now, here's what I think I came up with. And I've talked to a few people. I didn't want to have people's opinions and thoughts clouding my judgment. I wanted it to be from God. And I think if I'm doing something wrong, that God will correct me. So I'm hoping for that. But here's what I got out of it. Okay, if you go back to verse 9, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, which is adultery, and then you marry another, it's adultery. Okay, now, when I have a really weird situation, I'm actually still married, but I've been separated for almost 5 years now. August will be 5 years that I've been separated. And the only reason that me and my ex never got the divorce was because neither of us had money to do it. And there was another reason, we also got a little bit extra back taxes for married filing jointly. So, this whole time, which is really strange, I've had a really strange experience. Since August of 2013, I have not been with anybody up to now. Never been with anybody else except my ex. We got together a couple other times, but it's really strange. For a long time, I was fat and I was really overweight, and I didn't even like myself. I couldn't stand myself, and I didn't even attempt to try to go out with people. Then when I lost all that weight, I decided to start trying to, date again. So on Plenty of Fish, I was on there. I had 3 separate dates, 3 different times. And for some reason or another, they all backed out. One of them backed out on the day of, which wasn't very nice. But I don't know, maybe that's a way that maybe God was protecting me from, having sex. I don't know. But anyway, so my wife, after we got separated, within a few months, she was already seeing people. And so in a way, if you look at it this way, she was the one who committed adultery. So, I talked to my pastor about it, and he thinks that since she was the one who had committed adultery, that I got like the green light from God, to remarry. So I just have to be, celibate, I guess, until I get married. So I have no problem with that. If that's what God wants, that's what I will do. So there you go. This kind of strange stuff. And it's really weird. I cannot believe that I have gone. It's been over 2 years since I've had sex. So I know I'm throwing in kind of personal information there, but that's what it is. So I'm, I know there might be some other people that might get the different meaning out of out of this, but this is what I believe is God's will. And I believe if I'm, not supposed to do something or I'm doing something wrong, that God will correct me. So I'm going to go with it like that. And if God wants me to change something, I will change it. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing. God bless.